Good afternoon. Welcome to EduSet Network. Friend, as you know, we are discussing psychology, and today our topic for discussion is motivation. As you know, motivation is important for doing anything. Without motivation, we can't do. Even though we have a skill, we have ability, but if there is no motivation, the pace of the doing the work will reduce, or it will be non-functional or non-productive. So for that we need motivation. So what are the concepts and practices of motivation, theory, etc. we will discuss in today's lecture. And for discussion on this very topic, we have in studio Dr. Durgesh Narayan. He is presently director of one of the leading management institute in New Delhi. And before moving to this institution, he has been teaching in different institutions of America. So and also have to his credit a number of research papers published in different journals. And he has undertaken 3 national projects and presented reports of about 20 reports on different aspects of management. So I hope his knowledge and experience will help us to understand this topic in a different perspective. So on your behalf, I welcome Dr. Narayan for EduSet lecture. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Everybody knows that there are a lot of diseases which are coming because of the advancement of science also, and we cannot catch those diseases. There is one disease which is not to be diagnosed clinically, but it is natural that it happens with everybody. There is no age, there is no caste, there is no sex, there is no color, no nationality. All over the world, this ailment is very much prevalent. This ailment is, since cannot be clinically diagnosed, but naturally it is found in everybody. That is why we say that this is a universal disease, and it has no age bar also. Right from childhood to the adulthood and old age, this disease is prevalent. This disease does not allow anybody to live happily in his life, nor it allows anybody to be capable and enthusiastic in his working. This disease can be called a disease of motivation. If we are not able to motivate any person concerned with us, then the person will lose his enthusiasm, encouragement, and profound knowledge application, so that he may not be a utilizing or a utility person of the nation or for the place or for the country. Therefore, motivation comes from the word motive. Motive means to drive. Drive means you have to drive a person for giving his excellence in his working or in his livelihood. So motivation comes from motive, which is a fundamental right of everybody to be driven for a very, very good opportunity to sufficiently work and end his work in a best way. We may say motivation gives a person 100% efficiency. There is no efficiency which can be called 99%, because efficiency is 100%. That is why we say that this is the disease which are in everybody. A child, he wants to work, goes to school, he comes back from the school, he wants a pat on his back from his parent that he has earned a good marks. When you are a student in the college or in the university, you are also telling your parents or otherwise other persons that you have excellent or you have excelled in this type of field or in games or in these lectures. When you are in service, you always want a pat on back by your superiors that you have done a good job, and when you are patted on back, then you are definitely enthused as well as you are encouraged to do better work than what you were doing earlier. So, and when you are old, then you want that your children, your persons of younger age around you, your family, your neighborhood also encourages you to put forward your feet into a good and a better environment and constructive atmosphere. Now, what is motivation? Motivation I have described MOTIVATION. So, M stands for move, as I have told you, then opportunities, then to innovation, then vital, then citing, and then tuning, and then transforming. So, these are the words which makes a person and the word a complete sentence for motivation. So, this is a product which is to be produced for everybody and from everybody. So, motivation is this is a matter of fact, is art that you must have for yourself as well as for your other persons to whom you are under concern, and concern means you want their upliftment. You want that they should develop, and once the persons are developing, the country is developing. So, you must see in the larger interest of the country that you are motivating the persons who are under your concern. Now, what is motivation? Motivation is when you have got a stimulus. That means when you have got a inclination for meeting your needs, your wants, then you are motivated, you are encouraged, you are enthused to do that job. So, to complete the job through which you have been inclined for completion of that job successfully, the motivation comes in. So, there must be an ambitious dream which should be in your mind so that you are stimulated for doing a job. The next step is coming is that there must be so many needs and wants for which your stimuli has been created. So, the needs and stimuli must be together step by step, and then there will be a desire in your mind. That means the mind comes under positive tension. There are two tension, one negative and positive. Positive tension means you are under tension, you are under the requirement of the circumstances in which you want that your desires, your wants, your needs are being fulfilled, and that stimuli initiates those type of things to be fulfilled. And then when the tension has arrived, that means the positive tension, desire has arrived, then you become activated. That means you come under activity so that you can perform a job in which your desire and needs are to be fulfilled. Okay, and then when you are activated to do that, then your ambitions are fulfilled and your goals are also achieved. So, motivation is in a cycle that arises, and from activation and the goals are achieved. What are the needs? I have told you there should be some needs. If the need is not there, motivation cannot be available, it cannot arise. So, needs are the necessities of life, they are your wants, they are your requirements, and they are the conditions which are lacking. So, these things becomes the part of needs. These composite the needs which we are having, and to fulfill those needs we require motivation. So, the needs I have done: N is necessary, E is essential, E is emergent, D is demand, and S is scanned. When the demands are scanned and the needs are coming over, then there is a possibility of keeping your demands and needs to fulfill. How? Through motivation. Now, what are the need factors? We have told needs. Need factors are job security. We need anybody who is working anywhere requires a security for his job. So, first need is that your job should be secured. You should not hang in balance or a sword is not hanging on your head by a hair thread, that you don't feel like secured person. So security of job is number one. Number two I have taken is practical training. You must have a practical training so that you are able to create the need and fulfill the need as per the requirement. Then comes relationship with the colleagues. Wherever you are working, if your colleagues are in tune with you, your peers are in tune with you, they listen you and you listen them. That means there is a well-being for each other. Then also the needs are comfortably met. Then there is a confidence of boss. When you are working in an organization or in an office, anywhere you are working, you have got a person who is superior to you. If that person is not having a confidence, if you could not refuse a confidence in your minds and heart of your boss, then also that need will arise for motivating yourself. So that is another need factor. Then you take prestige of your position. Whatever position you are having, you must see that you are commanding respect. If you are not commanding respect, then and there in the position a day in and day out, then also a need arises to fulfill that type of deficiency which is arising in your working day to day job. Another one is recognition of good work. As I have told you, if you have reposed the confidence in your boss, then definitely your services will be recognized. That means whatever you are doing, you are getting a reward for that. Either a pat on the back or any type of reward which you are getting because your work is recognized. It is very essential. Then comes control over their accomplishment. You must have an accomplishment which must be controlled simultaneously, befittingly, suitably, so that the needs and your demands are fulfilled. Then supporting help from the superiors. Then you must have a support from both the sides, whether hierarchical, whether it is from the top or from the bottom. All persons should support you so that you feel encouraged to do your job, and this necessitates your motivation. Then feeling self-esteem. When these things are happening, then you are feeling, yes, you are a self-respected person, not only in the office but in the society, in your community, and that gives you a lot of satisfaction. And this is also one of the need factor which is very essential for your life day and night. Then you come and feeling that you are there, opportunities are there for your personal growth. If that is coming, if you know that you can grow, you can develop yourself as per your requirements, as per your wants, needs, good job, then also this becomes a very essential need factor for you, so that it brings you good recognition and good job security. Then there are a lot of motivational factors. As I have told you, motivation is enthusiasm. A person, if he is not encouraged, if he is not enthusiastic, then he will be very much depressed. He will go from positivity to negativity. So we must see that a person should not go from positivity to negativity, rather he should come from negativity to positivity, so that his thinking is beneficial for everybody whosoever comes in his contact. The first point is survival. Everybody wants to survive befittingly. If you can survive befittingly with your complete satisfaction, then you are definitely motivated. The second is your health. If you are ill, if you are not feeling well, if you are sick, if you are bedridden, naturally you need motivation because you feel depressed. Depression is just opposite to enthusiasm. So you must be immediately get good motivational factors to bring you from down to up. The next is security. Again, security is a very big factor for motivation also. If you feel that you are secure in your home, in your community, in your office, in your country, in your region, anywhere, then you are always getting good mind set and positivity is increasing in your mind and heart. So this is very much essential. Security is very much essential in every respect. Then acceptance. You must feel that you are accepted by the society, by your own persons, family persons, in your office. Everybody accepts you as a good person. The day you feel that you are unaccepted from anybody who is concerned you, then you will go in depression. So you must be accepted by one and all who come under your contact and they are concerned around you. The next is your respect. You must be respected. You feel esteemed, that yes, you are getting a due respect, and the respect which you are so much deserve, if you are getting it, that also becomes a motivational factor. Then dependence. You should not be dependent on anybody. These days, if anybody is dependent on anybody, he is the most sorrowful person. He does not enjoy life because he is depending. His sorrows, his joys are all depending on his dependents. So it is better we are not dependent. If we are dependent, again this becomes a motivational factor, and we must take from dependence to independence. That's very much essential. And then you have the consolidation. You must be satisfied in your life. Whatever you are doing, you are self-content. And self-contentment always brings immense joy and happiness in everybody's life. And this type of happiness, if it exists in you for a longer time, will increase your span of life. Will always be having a positivity in your life. Then you come to activities. There must be physical activities, mental activities, for which you are always bear the factors which are essential for bringing these activities. So activities are very much essential, and these are also arousing motivation for everybody. Then comes human quality, response, stature, power. All these things are bringing in one's mind positivity, in one's career, in one's life, motivational, so that a person is elated, a person is raised, a person is encouraged for doing a good job, and to doing a good job he lives a good life. Now, factors of motivation. There are a lot of factors which motivate you. One of the factors is financial. You know, without finance, no age group can remain alive. If alive, then not happily. If not happily, then not motivatingly. So you must have a good life which can be ensured through your financial support. If you are financially sound, that it becomes a good motivation factor. Number 2 is individual meetings. If you can meet persons and you can pray and report your grievances so that they can be redressed sympathetically. If you get sympathy for your redressal, for your grievances, that also becomes a very big motivator factor. Then you get the merit. If you are a meritorious person, then you must get for your good job a good recognition from your superiors. That is a must. If you don't get, then there are two lessons. If the persons who are not doing good job and they are also getting same facilities, whether it's financial, social, psychological, any type, and if a good person is also getting at par the same facilities, then what happens? The good person becomes a bad person, demotivated person, and demotivated person will never be motivated because he is seeing that a motivated person himself is coming to their level of demotivation. So this is a very big factor which plays a very big course in our life. Then you have got the staff meetings. The staff meetings also must be so much encouraging for your career that they bring good results and they become successful and fruitful meetings, associations with your colleagues, with outside persons. Then better facilities. If you don't get a better facilities, that means if you are working in a room, that room is not hygienic, it is not airy, it is not well lighted, it is not having good water supply, electricity, then what will happen? Your mind will be depressed. So this type of environment, circumstances also in your workplace as well as in your living place, dwelling place, house also becomes a motivating factor. Then you have targets or quotas. Everywhere everybody has given targets and quotas to be achieved within a time frame of work as well as within the financial and job of time as well as finance. So if the job is completed within the financial grants and within the time frame given to you, then also you will get a very good jump in your mind and heart to be a very, very motivated person. Then there should be a freedom of work. There should be autonomy. There should not be any unnecessary interference by your superiors for nothing. So interference, non-interference, nothing interference will always lead to your depression. So interference should never be there, encouragement should always there, that given time is there, fund is there, and the job is given that you should complete without any interference and with greater autonomy as much as possible. Then there should also be a hard working and a person who can do a better job, who can bring laurels to his organization by getting motivated. If superiors are interested that their company, their organization, institution goes high and high, then they must see that all their employees are motivated. Autonomy, I never mean a person going out of discipline. Everything should be in discipline, and automation means non-interference in my work. That's it. Now, there has been a very good scientist who has worked on motivation factors. He is called A.W. Maslow, A.H. Maslow, who has classified the needs and how they can be. The needs he has classified into 5 categories. The first is physiological needs. Physiology means living. Living means you cannot live without food, shelter and clothing. That's what they are called physiological needs. They are the basic needs without which nobody can survive. So physiological need must be fulfilled for everybody to survive. Next, what he says is safety needs. That means you must and your family members must feel that you are safe. You are not unsafe as these days are seeing in everyday's paper that ladies or other persons, old citizens are not safe. When this feeling comes in your mind, then your feeling for motivation goes away, flies away, evaporates, because you are not getting a perfect sound mind because you are not motivated. The third one he says is the social needs. That means all around you, your neighborhood should be such that you enjoy them. There is a socio-economic environment around you so that you are motivated because your neighbors are not unnecessarily criticizing you. They are motivating you to be a good citizen, to be a good neighbor. So your social needs must also be fulfilled, otherwise you will be demotivated. Then he says ego needs. Ego here does not mean in bad word. Ego I mean to say satisfaction. If you are satisfied by your job, by your working, by your environment, by your persons, then it is much better to bring you from scratch to a highest level of level. So you must also have a ego needs fulfilled. The other one is self-actualization needs. This means you must have the opportunity for self-development. If you cannot develop yourself on your own, then it is very difficult for you to be motivated. So you must see that you are motivated to develop yourself also. Now, there are lot of factors which are burning everybody. Burning means they are losing their health of mind and body. They are spirits, spiritual, everything they are burning just because they are not moving systematically. So, you should be highly motivated. You will not burn yourself if you are highly motivated. So, motivation is on a very high scale, will not allow you to burn yourself young. Next is when you are worried about your falling efficiency levels. If your efficiency in your own eyes, in your own mind is decreasing just because you don't have a systematized working conditions, then also you are burning yourself. So burning is going against motivation. Anybody who is burning is going under motivation. Then you must appear unclear. That means you should not be doubtful. You should be very clear, crystal clear and transparent in your working conditions. That must be there. Then you must not be rushing every time for your work. That means you have not planned your schedule as per the requirements of the fulfillment of your job, and that is a must which you must do. That means you must have a systematic schedule for your working, and you must not burn by running here and there unsystematically and not completing one job and taking another job. That means you must complete one job and then only take another job. Then you must not turn to alcohol. Alcohol, I have seen, is a recipe, a desire for controlling sorrow and encouraging happiness. On both ways, a person who is sorrow, a person who is happy, both take alcohol because there it increases, there it decreases. So alcohol one must not take. If you are demotivated, then you are inclined to go towards alcohol, which is very harmful. And then you will not be able, if you are demotivated, then you cannot be able to remember your task, how you should do a task and which way step by step you should go for completing your task. Now, I have given, if you motivate somebody, that means what you are doing? You are giving a vitamin to that person, which I call vitamin M. M stands for motivation. M does not stand for money. M does not stand for muscle. So, motivation means that you are encouraging a person. So, if you give the encouragement to a person, that means you are motivating him. You are giving a vitamin M, which is very much essential for anybody to get motivated. If you motivate a person, if you reward a person, if you see that a person goes well, goes forward, goes without any hindrance, any speed breaker in his life, then what you should do, that you should translate these things into practice in the minds and hearts of your juniors, your workers, your subordinates, and that will inculcate in their minds a feeling of intuition for doing a job which will be very creative, which will certainly give them a inventing idea, innovative ideas, so that they are easily and nicely, satisfactorily, healthily working themselves. Now, how we will live for the next generation, percentage. The countries, then better, worse and same. They are the classification I have done. On this table, India, it will be 64% better, 28% worse and same 14%. USA, 31% better, 60% worse and 14% same. Canada, 28% better, 60% worse and 12% same. UK, 29% better, 60% worse and 14% same. Germany, 17% better, 73% worse and 6% same. France, 17, 80 and 12 in that order. China, 86, 6 and 4. That's why it is developing. Bangladesh, 84, 13 and 2. In this way, we see that these are the persons who are developing in such a way that we are getting them progressing. And please come. I want to change the slide. I want to go to the next slide. Please come to change the next slide. Where is that? Next slide. The next slide. No? Herzberg theory. Herzberg theory. This is the first one. इसके पहले और yeah, good. As we already discussed with you, Maslow, who was a great motivator, a great scientist in motivation. So, in the same way, we have got a Herzberg. What Herzberg says is job satisfaction and job dissatisfaction. He has made a pyramid under which, on the base, he says physiological needs. As we have already told you, what is physiological need? Physiological needs are those needs without which a person cannot survive. Physiology means movement. A person cannot move or cannot live a life if he is not having a shelter, clothing and food. So that's called physiological needs. That is the basic need in this world. The next is safety and security needs. We have already discussed that if a person is not secure, he does not feel safe as we are feeling and finding everyday newspapers in Delhi, then everybody is depressed. They are demotivated to go in the dark, in the streets alone. So that should not be there because you will be demotivated. The next one is that you must have a belongingness. If you don't feel that you are a part and parcel of society around you and there is no Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, then it is very difficult for you to keep your momentum to the highest level and stake. So you must have a feeling of belongingness and adaptability, acceptability in your society around you, so that you feel that you are a active, energetic, successful, a good member, citizen of that society. That must be there. And then there are esteem needs. You want respect. You want to a reward for a good job. Esteem is very important. Respect is very important. If a person not getting respect in his career for his job which he is doing, he is definitely demotivated. So the Herzberg theory says that these are some of the very important aspects for the successful person to be motivated. Yeah. It's not working.
Just down.
ये ना?
Yeah.
हाँ ये कर रहा हूँ. It's not coming. It's not working. एक मिनट जरा कुर्सी लगा आप बैठ ही जाओ. We discuss, give lot of importance on motivation. Motivation is such a,
I think this was the Herzberg theory or the Maslow theory.
it was Maslow's theory.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Then Herzberg says two types. One job satisfaction, one job dissatisfaction. Job satisfaction, how you get? When your surroundings are up to the mark. They are satisfactorily working in tune with your demands, desires. And the first one is your company's policy administration, wherever you are working. Company does not mean any organization. Company can also be a family. Company can also be society. So your surrounding must be such that they are giving you entire satisfaction. They are not dissatisfying you. They are proving very good for your satisfaction measures. So your satisfaction is complete. The next comes is supervision. If any person who is supervising you is doing a good job for you, then also you are getting satisfaction. If a supervisor is against you, is biased you, then you will not be satisfied. So this is one of the reasons why persons demotivated, why they are not using it. The third is your relationship with the supervisor. Your relationship should be such that exactly what you merit you are getting. Relationship in this sense. Relationship means that you are a bad worker but you are in good books, that is not a good relationship. Relationship should be on the merit, should be based on merit. If your relationship is good, that means you are a meritorious person and you are getting a good reward, you are getting a good job back on your career and you are going up and up. The third one is your working conditions. As I have already told you, if the working conditions are not satisfactory, they are not hygienic. The airy, lighting, water, gas, ventilation, all those type of things which is needed for anybody to survive healthily for 8 hours of his job, then it will not be possible for a person to work correctly, nicely and with sound mind. So your mind also gets back if these things are not available to you or you are not able to utilize the necessities of life in your working conditions. Next is your salary. Your salary is your compensation. You should take salary as a compensation. Compensation means whatever work you are doing, you are rewarded as per your job. As per the requirement of your job, you are doing the job and you are getting the compensation by the organization. So compensation is a must and salary must be sufficient to your job. That's why you get job satisfaction. That is very essential. Then their relationship with the peers. You must have a good relationship in surroundings, your peers, your colleagues, so that there is nobody to taunt you, nobody is going to criticize you, nobody is going to bring you back from up to down. So that is very essential. Your surroundings should be very healthy. The next is your personal life. That means your family life. If there is, your children are against you, they are not working under your control, they are doing things which you like, or your wife or any relation, brother, sister, whatever it is. So relationship also deals with a lot in your motivation. If you are unsatisfied, you are dissatisfied with the surroundings, immediate surroundings, that means family life is not satisfied, then you cannot be motivated to do any job. Then you can say that relationship with subordinates. First is superiors, then subordinates. If subordinates are also not having a healthy relationship, relationship means healthy. Healthy means on merit. Relationship should not be on any ism, religion or caste or anything. It should be only on working proficiency. If that type of relationship you have developed with your superiors as well as your inferiors or juniors, then it is called a good relationship. So both the ways relationship should be crystal clear on merit and good. Otherwise you will be demotivated. And then will be status. Then you must see that as per your qualification and experience, your status is given. It is not that your status is down below because of some other reason, not your merit. So, on your merit, your status must be given to you, the position must be given to you, so that you can call yourself as a successful and motivated citizen. And then again, security. Security is always coming in every factor, because this is one factor which is surrounded and surrounding all the aspects of our life. Without security, we will not be able to survive, we cannot see any good reason to live happily. Next. Now, there are other factors also, like achievement. If you see that the projects, the work which has been given to you by your officers, by your organization, by institutions, is achieved as per their satisfaction, not only on at your own satisfaction, then also motivation will not come. So, achievement is a very, very important factor in one's life. One must see, one must find that he has achieved whatever goals, whatever targets have been fixed for him satisfactorily within the financial management as well as time management. So, achievement is a big factor in one's life. Next is recognition. As I have told you, if you have not been recognized properly, fairly, without any favoritism, then certainly you will be motivated. Recognition is a very big thing, and you must know that your recognition is coming to you on your merit and not on any other thing, or the recognition is not coming just because of some other factors. So, that will also demotivate you. The next is your responsibility. If the responsibility and power are given to you as per your position, as per your working conditions, as per your work, then you will certainly be motivated. Power, responsibility, if it has not been given to you adequately, you will not be able to supervise your subordinates properly, and you cannot achieve your targets within the limits, as I have told you. So, it is very essential, because one man cannot do a job alone. There should be a team, and that team must be able to survive just because they are with you. And they are with you because you are using your power and authority in a better way. I have seen mostly powers and authorities are misused, but I advise you, I counsel you that please use the power and authority in a better way for a betterment of yourself as well for the organization and for the whole country. And the next is your growth and advancement. You cannot advance, you cannot grow yourself in your life unless and until your mind and heart is not clear. If your mind and heart is clear, that means clarity means they have got the absorbing power. Whatever you will do in a good way. If positivity is in your mind and power, it will certainly have a good base for accepting good ideas, novel ideas. So, you must have a proper mind base, clear mind base to get a clean slate can have some impression by a chalk. But if the slate is full, haphazardly, there is no space, then where you will keep that impression we want to do. So, your mind should be, in beginning should be a clean slate, so that absorption and adsorption both are available and possible in your mind and heart, only then you can prosper. Then these are the factors which we have told. They are the factors which make you efficient, which make you satisfying, which make you dissatisfying, both. If they go on negative side, then they are dissatisfying you. If you go to your positive side, then they dissatisfy you. So, we pray that all these factors which are satisfying plus those which are dissatisfying should also become satisfying, and all the factors which I have enumerated to you right now should prove to be a good motivating factor. Then there is a new theory of motivation. We have a need theory. I have told you in the very beginning, if there is no need, you will not be stimulated. If you are not stimulated, you will not activate. If you are not activated, you will never be able to motivate yourself. So motivation requires a fulfillment of needs. Need is a very big thing that must be in your mind. If you have no need, that means you cannot be motivated. And motivation person should always get a need, want, desire. There must be these things available to him. So in everybody's life, there are reflexes and habits which cannot be changed. A person who has got by birth, inbuilt characters, they are not able to be changed. So reflex and habits cannot be seldom changed, but there is a gap between these two which can be influenced by motivation. Between the reflex, between the dreams, there can be a gap in which your reflexes can be cultivated into a good practice, and that can be influenced by the motivation factors. So there should be a need. Then there is a chart. Can we show the chart there? Then you must see that if you want a need to be satisfied, but you are deprived to satisfy that need, then the stimuli will increase for fulfilling that need. So the first factor of motivational cycle is that there should be a deprivation of need, or in other words, development of need or a birth of need for you to become stimuli. The next is that you must have a drive to fulfill. That means you must have a urge, you must have a fire in your heart to see that your need is satisfied. When that is done, then action comes into force. Then you have to take certain actions, certain areas in which you can take these things for betterment, for growth, development of your own self, so that you can be motivated. And when you become activated, then you are satisfied. That means your needs have been fulfilled, and you see that needs are fulfilled because of these things, then certainly you are motivated. If your needs are not fulfilled, or if your need have not taken any birth, motivation does not come in anywhere. So both the things are within bracket of motivation. So you must have these type of activities, only then motivation will come. Next one. Now another model of motivation is that we must have a recognition for our problem. If a problem has come, recognition means how can we solve that problem successfully within the time frame and actively with a healthy mind and brain. So you must first recognize, first find out what is the problem. After that, you have to diagnose it. That means you must see how this problem can be solved. So the diagnosis, the implementation for recognition of that particular problem solving must come in. After that will come the feedback. That means you must know how could you do this thing, and that will come only because you have developed a change of strategy. You must have made certain strategy so that you are able to solve your problems in a healthy and good way. So strategy is a very, very important aspect of one's life. If you cannot make a strategy in your life, you cannot be successful. So you must know on what strategy, on what theories, how I can bring these problems to an end, and that must be there. After strategy, you must have intervention. How you can intervene, how you can do those strategies into action, how you can bring those strategies into your life to make them successful and making you successful also. After that, you are having a measurement and evaluation. Then you can see how much I have done to see that my wants, my desires are fulfilled, and how I got motivated, and then you will again get a feedback. That means you will have a control, check and balances to find out, yes, these are the means, these are the ways through which I can modify myself for tuning in a good management practices to bring myself a very happy and healthy and a worthy person by motivating myself. Next. Yeah. So Maslow says that there are need. He says need hierarchy. I have already shown you on the pyramid what are the need hierarchy. First I have told you physiological, I need not repeat. Then security and safety. Then affiliation to your acceptance. Then I have told you extent of esteem, status, and then it was self-actualization, that means self-interpretation. Now, Husband says only two theories. He says there are two need-based theories. One is hygienic and one is unhygienic. Hygienic theory says that there must not be any attempt, any circumstances which makes you discouraged, which makes you dissatisfied. So, we have already discussed what are the dissatisfying theory, and they become satisfying theory when they come into practice in a better way. So, these are the two theories which says that dissatisfaction should be converted, transformed into satisfaction. If dissatisfaction can be transformed in satisfaction, then there is no reason why motivation is not come your way very nicely and very dependently. So this is the comparison of Maslow's and Kurzweil's theory. They say like this. So I have told you hygiene factors. Hygiene factors are your money compensation, their personal life, their working conditions, working relationships, and status and security, as well as company policy administration and quality of supervision. They have already been discussed with you. And the motivation factors, these factors, if they are multiplied into positivity, they become also satisfying factors. And satisfying factors, that means motivation factors, are your challenging work. If your work is not challenging, you will be sleepy. You will be a sleeping partner in your organization. So sleeping partner is a dead man's shoe. He cannot progress. So he must be challenged every time so that he progresses very well. He becomes innovative. He should have lot of concept to give good ideas, bring good ideas, implement good ideas. Okay. Then comes to your added responsibility. When you have become a utilizing person, when you have become a good person, when you are a person of noble deeds, when a person, your staff, when your management feels that you are a person of greater utility, utilization, then there is no reason why you will not get any respect, and why through that respect you will not be motivated. So this is a very important aspect of one's life. And then it is the responsibility, as I have already discussed to you, and then advancement of chances and changes. That is a sign of development and growth. If the advancement are not coming your way, that means you are not growing properly, you are not developing yourself, nor you are helping to develop your organization in which you are working. So this is a very important aspect which must be taken care of for motivating yourself. And then there is the recognition of your work by society, by family, by community, by organization, everywhere. Your working is recognized in a better way, and you are patted on your back, and you are multilated, and good efficiency is given to you for a good job. And then is the work by management. That shows what management is. Management is to take work from others without having a worst management of finance or by time. So time management and finance management, when they can put together with autonomy given to a person, that becomes a good management. So you are managing your staff, you are managing your persons in such a way that they are also feeling motivated. There is nothing depression in their mind because you are giving them complete autonomy, complete freedom for working, fulfilling their job. And then comes your opportunities. If opportunities don't knock on your door of life, then you will not be able to open your windows and doors, which will bring you free and fresh air in the way that they are bringing you good life. A fresh air, a good air, and a free air is keeping your mind completely free of any toxins. That means they are not having any depression in your mind, heart, anywhere in your soul, and you are spiritually confident that you can do any job which has been entrusted to you. So this is very important that you must have this type of job. Then there is Skinner's theory. Skinner says that you must, actually what happens is, more the demands, lesser the satisfaction. If you are not self-content, you cannot be successful. You cannot be happy. So I say, more happiness can come only when your demands are less. And that is divided by your needs. If this is the formula, if you can follow this formula, then you will see that you will have abundance of happiness. That means that more and more of infinity, of lesser and lesser demand, more and more infinity of larger and larger scope of happiness. So happiness will only come when you will have the least demand, the least wants, the least requirements. And this will give you lot of ego, expectations. If your ego expectations are minimized to the bare minimum, and your needs and requirements are also on the bare minimum, that means they are negligible, then you know what will happen? Happiness will infinity. You will always be happy because you don't have any demand, you don't have any to survive. So sorrow will never come to your heaven. That's it.
Okay, fine.
Thank you.
We will also take up the questions. And
Yeah.
As you said that we talked about all the theories regarding the motivation. What are the practical approach one should need to adopt while dealing with such problems?
Yes. The practical approach for any country, for any society, for any company, region, state is that you must be impartial. You must be transparent.
Okay.
You must not suffer from ism. ISM. Ism means region, religion, caste, region. These things are always malfunctioning in one's life. They demotivate because if I am not of a religion, of a region, of a language, of a region, of my boss, then whatever I will do, I will not be able to get a pat on my back because I am not fulfilling the minds he is having polluted by one or the other ism. So we must be very clear, very transparent, very impartial and non-luring. We should not be allured by anybody, by anything, by any attraction which may distract our cleanliness. We must be very clean and very pure. Then only we can do. And we should always reward the meritorious persons and punish those persons who are not good job workers.
Okay, we also noticed that some of the theories, like one is the Maslow needs theory, the other is Herzberg theory. So we find that one theory suggests a good environment, then the productivity and etc. Improves. Another talks about the need of physiological needs.
Yeah.
So those who are in the physiological needs, they will how we can in conflicting situation of these theories.
Actually, there is no confliction. One man says that if you are satisfied within yourself, if you are self-content, that means you are not having any undue demand you don't have any urge for your wants and desires. That means you will not have any ego. You will not have any expectation. These two E's, they are polluting the whole atmosphere. They are degrading. They are demotivating everybody. So one person says that if you are not physically satisfied, or your surroundings are not physically satisfied within the range your requirement is, then you will not be motivated, because from the heart you are sorry. When you come to your home, your wife says that you just see our neighbor. He is earning a lot, he is getting a lot of pat on his back, and he is earning good job as well as emoluments, and we are at the same place. So these things must not be compared by a good person with a bad person. That is one theory. Second theory says that your satisfying factors and dissatisfying factors must not coincide. They must be parallel. The dissatisfying factors must become satisfying factors.
We will discuss this. Before that, we take up a question from the viewers.
Okay.
Please ask your question.
Hello.
Yeah, welcome. Please ask your question.
Hello. Sir, this is Feroz Ahmed from MMRC Srinagar, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, towards the end of your lecture, you made a statement that more the demands, lesser is the satisfaction. So, can you please elaborate the statement further?
Could you please repeat the question?
Please loudly. I could hear, sir.
Sir, I want to know, you made a statement in the end that more is the demand, lesser is the satisfaction of a person.
Okay.
So can you elaborate this statement, sir?
Okay. Dissatisfaction is when a person is not happy. Dissatisfaction is a factor which culminates, which gives birth to a person's sorrow. So if a person is dissatisfied by any reason, whether it is surroundings in his own home, whether he is surrounded by his community, whether by his friends, whether in the organization, whether from the top bosses, whether through his peers, whether through his juniors, if he is not getting a proper behavior, that means proper behavior means a behavior which he deserves, a behavior which keeps his memento, high and high, then he gets dissatisfied because he feels whatever I am doing has not been taken as it should have been taken. Dissatisfaction is the biggest factor in one's life when you feel and when you get practically that you are not getting the treatment you deserve. So that is dissatisfaction, and dissatisfaction result is sorrow. Lot of suicides are being done. Why? Because people are not satisfied, or they are not able to meet their ends which they wanted. That also becomes a demand, needs, wants. If your needs, wants are not fulfilled, or your culture or your methodology has not been appreciated, then appreciate if they belong to merit. I am not saying demerit. Only those denunciations which are on merit, if they are not recognized, if they have not been told to you, or if they have not been rewarded to you either verbally or in writing or in cash or in kind, then you will be demotivated. Why should I work when everybody, गधा घोड़ा सब एक घाट पानी पी रहे हैं? हिंदी में कहावत है ना, आप सब जानते होंगे. तो आदमी डिमोटिवेट हो जाएगा. वो कहेगा वो भी काम नहीं कर रहा, उसको भी उतनी तनख्वाह मिल रही है, वो काम हम काम कर रहे हैं, हमको भी तनख्वाह. Why not I also leave my job? So that gives a dissatisfaction. Dissatisfaction always due to derecognition. So one should not be dissatisfied because of derecognition of his good job. So you are dissatisfied. I hope you will understand. Thank you for a question.
Okay, now we were discussing about the Hertzberg theory and Maslow theory.
Yeah. So both the theories, one theory says that your all-round development, all-round family, all-round demands, esteem, your self-actualization, your basic physiological needs, they are all fulfilled. so that at least your surroundings are not dissatisfied and they are not becoming the factor of discouragement. They should not discourage you. They should always encourage. I come from my office, I come from my work site to my home. I get criticism in my home by my wife, by my children. What will happen? I will be demotivated. So a person says that you start charity at home. So recognition also start at home. If you are not motivated in your home by your wife, by your children, by your family, by relations, how will you be motivated? Once you are going down, you have been a fight within your family when you are going to office. You are demotivated. You are going in a very demotivated way to your office. When you are going demotivated way to the office, you are depressed. You can't do a good job. So he says that motivation must be also within you, within your immediate surroundings also. Another theory says your place of work should be such that it gives you encouragement. It does not
We have
fall
another
you
question
sick.
from-
Sorry.
I would like to interrupt you. Please
Okay.
ask your question.
Volume थोड़ा छोटा
Hello.
Yeah.
So you mentioned the role of health in motivation. I want to know what is the difference between mental health and spiritual health, and how spiritual health can play a role in motivation.
Okay. It's a good question. Spiritual health is the health of mental and physical combined. If a person is mentally and physically healthy, that means he has got a sound mind and a sound body is equal to spiritual health. That means his spirits are high. If you are mentally and physically good, if you are sick physically, you are ill, you are in a hospital, you are hospitalized, you are operated, whatever it is, then you are feeling very much demotivated. Here the health motivation comes. So if a person is not keeping his health well, then he will be very much demotivated. Number one. Number two, if you are not mentally fit, that means your mental fitness, physical fitness, both should be joined together to make you spiritually healthy. You cannot be spiritual, you cannot meditate. What is spiritual? You cannot do yoga, you cannot do asanas, you cannot do any programs like this for your health. So you must have both these positions in tune with yourself, with your age, with your temperament, with your environment, so that you attain a good spiritual environment, and that will give you a spiritual health. That means your health and the mind and soul, as well as your heart and body, are all tuned together and gives a force, a health which is called spiritual health. All the health combined together gives you spiritual health. That means a very, very calm and quiet, healthy, a satisfied life. That is health. इसको कैसे बंद किया था मैंने?
Could you have another question?
Yeah. Another question?
Okay. So we were talking about the, but one thing we find that there are natural instincts. And people, some are naturally motivated, some needs to be motivated.
Yeah.
Where the difference lies?
There is a genetical factor which implies in our mind, heart, body, and throughout life. If I am a son of a robber, if I am a son of an unsocial element, the chances are biologically my 80% characteristics will be of a unsocial person. So if I have inherited an atmosphere, if I am brought up in such a polluted atmosphere, then I am a physical and biological body. Biological body means I am subject to actions. I am subject to reactions. So I am reacted because the actions which I am getting from my family, from my father, from my mother, if I am seeing my father is bringing black money. He is talking and telling me that if the telephone comes, you tell him that I am not here because he doesn't want to talk. So you are breathing in an atmosphere of blackness. You are not getting a proper light of freedom, of purity. If you are not having that type of integrity in your mind and body and you are brought up, then naturally inheritance plays a very, very big role. There is the genetics, and that is not 100% sure that a robber son will become a robber, but chances are very much that he will inherit those bad characters which his parents are having.
So, well, friend, we discussed motivation concept and practices in details. So I hope you must have understood the factors and theories, etc., in details. So, and I also appreciate the friends of Srinagar who participated in our discussion, and also other viewers who, and I thank all of them for watching the lecture. And on your behalf, I thank Dr. Durgesh Narayan for giving such a wonderful lecture. Thank you very much.